doing work.
4:45.
I was. Yep.
You're getting to be like me. What's going on here?
I was just tired. Lingering tiredness. Like I told you, when I had the allergy pills, it destroyed me because they're the 24-hour kind. So I couldn't make it past the first quarter of the game. And I thought, oh man, look at Daniel Jones doing it again, evading pass rushes, getting the football out on time.
Yeah.
Washington's in for a long night. And little did I know it would be a really entertaining football game.
He played great. He deserved to win. The Giants choked that game away, by the way. But I don't care about either team at all. And neither of them are all that good. Washington's got some issues, man. That defense is not what we saw a year ago at all through two games. Now, luckily for them, they're not 0-2 like the Giants, who are, I believe, for the fifth year in a row, maybe 6th year in a row, they started the year 0-2. They are the definition of grand opening, grand closing. That's a tough way to be. Statistically, historically speaking, this is no way to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's like our mutual friend, Bill. He understands from both Saturdays and Sundays what it means to have the month of September end your season. End your season for football.
I spent, it's funny. I was speaking with a family member who is not as, I don't know, tied into and passionate about college football as we are. And they were saying, they were asking me a question regarding the disappointment in last week's game. And I said, oh, you can't begin to understand the disappointment. I said, you can understand that they were 27-point favorites or whatever and didn't cover. You can understand that you shouldn't lose to an FCS school. You can understand that it's a tough loss for a new staff to try to explain away, and it's tough to recover. I said, but as of yesterday, we were still really kind of mired in talking about that game as opposed to the Wake game, and this Wake game is huge. And I told you as early as Tuesday, I'm nervous about this game, and I am. I'm nervous about this game. I'm not nervous about, looking at Wake's personnel and looking at our personnel and saying, well, this doesn't match up. Well, sometimes you look at matchups and you see styles make fights and you go, this is no good for us, baby. This is no good for us. Sometimes you see matchups like that. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm saying that the implications here, or the repercussions of another loss, I remember sort of towards the end of the lost decade, and we weren't having losing seasons in the lost decade. We were just having middling to poor seasons, and we weren't getting the most out of our guys, and there were 6-6 campaigns and the like. And at some point, the anger was replaced with apathy, and that really made me nervous. At that time, I remember thinking, well, when people figure out from all around the state or the Southeast in general that there are other things to do on their weekends than to come to Tallahassee and support Florida State football, then you're in a bad place, because changing habits is difficult. If you've ever read about habits, read the book Habits, any of that stuff, you realize that it is hard to start and turn over a new leaf and create new habits. But if you do, like going back to the ones that you supplanted, it doesn't normally happen. And so I was thinking about long term. I was thinking, what if people just decide, I'm not coming over from Jacksonville, Orlando, Tampa, certainly not Miami, St. Petersburg, Atlanta, and I'm just not going to come anymore because the product is ass sorry. All it does is lead to a headache for me to try to get to Tallahassee. And then when I go to the games themselves, they don't play well, they lose. And you know what? I like spending time with my family here at the house, or, swimming in the pool and having people come over and barbecue instead of going to Tallahassee. And we'll watch it on TV. And if they start to play poorly, we'll flip it. I mean, that happens. And, I'm having that same sense here. Like, man, it's not good for anybody, not the local economy or otherwise, to have a half-empty stadium the remainder of the year. They go 0-3. Ain't nobody coming up here to watch games.
Yeah, it's Norvell's last stand for the next 6 weeks. You could earn it back by November, but it would take that long. It would take beating Louisville, Syracuse, North Carolina, obviously UMass, losing to Clemson, and then beating NC State, and then people would be back just in time for the Miami game. But you would lose an entire month of rabid enthusiasm. And what sucks is, because we can see the numbers. We can see the numbers in multiple ways. With Warchant.com.
We see it, yeah.
You see the eyeballs in the top left corner of our software that we use. The day after Notre Dame, I was stunned for a holiday how many people were invested in the game. The moments after the football game, and we lost to Notre Dame in overtime, I was stunned in the postgame show with how many eyeballs were there. Yeah. People were locked in. They were happy. You built up goodwill in a loss. The coach and the players might not like a loss of any kind. well, with moral victories or otherwise.
No, nobody likes to lose.
But the fans did. That loss actually advanced the cause. I think it brought people closer to spending money on this program as boosters, ticket sales, you name it. And you're at a place that you haven't been since, I don't know, the spring tour that Willie was on before he coached one football game. And then it was all gone. This is the last stand. Tomorrow, you've got to win this football game.
You're not overstating it. You're not, it's true. I really do believe that, again, they are in a desperate place right now. They're backed against the wall. They are absolutely now in a must-win situation, at least in terms of salvaging anything that remains of this season, of which there are a lot of games to play. Like, you didn't really, even if you were of the mindset, and I was, that they were at best going to be average by definition, 6-6, that at best they were going to be an average team. They just don't have the personnel. But I would have never guessed that they would have thrown away everything through 3 games. There's just no way. I thought, okay, well, they'll be, they'll 2-1, 1-2, but there'll be some games to play still that will be interesting. We were worried about 1-2, but we certainly never saw 0-3.
No, and it's just, it's so stupid. It's for all the wrong reasons. Like, if you lost 3 offensive linemen to season-ending injuries against Notre Dame or in the first half against Jacksonville State, and then you had 2 defensive backs slip and fall on a play, and you lose by 3, you're like, oh, well, this poor man, Mike Norvell, this poor guy, between COVID and this.
Didn't get that now.
No, this is all your fault, man. Yeah. This is not that. This is the hubris puts you in this position. Yeah. I still think a lot of the goals are left on the table for this team, but, none of them are left on the table if you lose tomorrow. That's the whole thing.
You know what ends up happening, too? You try, because all you have left in situations like this. Now, we'll see. We'll see if they play well tomorrow. We'll see if they go on the road and get a win. It's amazing what winning does. What a salve it really turns out to be. I mean, you don't forget the loss to Jacksonville State, but you're able to put it in the rear view and move forward if you get a win tomorrow. You're able to do that, at least temporarily.
Well, it's tough that we have to talk about this on a Friday, but this is what we've wrought. Loosey, and by we, I mean buddy. They.
Yeah, no, they did this to us. What have you done? Again, so it's one of those things where if you get a win, you're 1-0 in the ACC. Just keep spinning that. 1-0 in the ACC, everybody. On our way to an ACC championship. 1-0. Let's take it on down the road.
Mike, your thoughts on the quarterbacks today's practice?
We're 1-0 in the ACC, and I'm very happy about that. The guys came together, had another good practice. All we know is how to work. And that's what we'll do. We'll keep going to the drawing board and get back to work, remain undefeated in the ACC, hopefully again this week. And our goals are all on the table. They can all be met.
Mike, how is the vaccination rate coming along for the team?
1-0 in the ACC, feeling good about putting together a game plan on the road, get a big win against Wake Forest, and it buoyed the team immensely. And obviously, guys were able to put a disappointing loss in the rearview. Now that we're undefeated in the ACC, you got to try to keep it going, build up as many wins as you can in this conference. We all know what a meat grinder the ACC is. Feeling pretty good about it now that we're undefeated in the ACC. Certainly excited about this week.
And, Coach, your linebacker depth for this weekend?
It's funny. You would think that a team that is as thin as we are at linebacker would not be undefeated in the ACC, but it is. It is a team that's undefeated in the ACC, and that's one of the things about this group is their resilience. And, we put them in a good position this week. They executed beautifully, and now we're 1-0. 1-0 in the conference, and all our goals are still on the table in the ACC.
And that would be the end of the press conference because everybody would know the drill.
It's a beauty. There we go. Any other questions? Wide receivers, you got questions about them? Don't worry about it. We're 1-0 in the ACC, baby. Everything's going well. Coach, your receivers combined for 4 receptions in this game. You won 20-17. Not a pretty win, but a win nonetheless. Yeah, certainly you'd like to go into a game and have more than 4 receptions from your receivers, but it's a work in progress right now. But again, we put them in a position to get a win. Those 4 receptions were huge, and we're 1-0 in the ACC because of it. So we'll take those 4 receptions, and we'll move on to this next game. And it's a home game in the ACC. They're going to need the fans to show up and bring it. Feeling pretty good. Undefeated in the conference right now. All our goals right there on the table. Still got a chance to win the ACC.
Anybody else?
Our ass is in the jackpot now, okay?
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got. I mean, I don't know. Yesterday we were talking about the Vanderbilt coach wanting to take the scoreboard down and say, we can't really worry about the results, guys. We're just going to have to work on proving who we are. Improving who we are on a daily basis. Now, that score may read 38-7, and we're on the wrong end of it. But we can walk off that field not having paid attention to that scoreboard or that result, knowing that we got a little better today. Got a little better today. Maybe next time it's 38-14. You just keep working. You just keep working. And one of these days it'll read 41-38 us. Could be a couple of years from now, but we're gonna get to that place where that's possible.
And we look forward to welcoming in an Eastern Michigan team. That's maybe not taking us very seriously, but that'll be a good day.
Our ass is in the jackpot now, okay?
Oh, yes. That was the coaches' meeting in the wee hours of Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Our ass is in the jackpot now, okay?
And then he's just staring over at his defensive staff, even though the offense was putrid all night long.
Should we give him the audio of Adam and Mike talking on the field that we were able to steal from the ACC?
No, we gave it to him earlier this week. We don't have to do it again. I think that line there, that was the, without question, first thing said when the door shut. All right, gentlemen, our ass is in the jackpot now.
Our ass is in the jackpot now, okay?
The moment when your ass is in the jackpot, we've all had a moment like that where we went, oh, my ass is in the jackpot now. I was thinking that the moment that you realized that your ass was in the jackpot, it could be as a kid when you were late, it was curfew and you weren't even close to being home. My ass is in the jackpot now. Could be when you were in college and maybe you made some mistakes. Mistakes you made were unfortunate. And then your ass was in the jackpot, say in one of your classes, because you just decided not to go to class and it came back to bite you. Whatever it might be, right? Those moments, you'd like to think usually are over like frivolous things. They're things that, in the big picture, you're going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. But there's probably never a time in which a person realizes that their ass is in the jackpot that's more terrifying than when you're at sea. Something goes wrong when you're at sea, Tom. I thought about that the other day when we were playing that clip. When is it that your ass is most in the jackpot and it's desperate? Like you have no way to undo a situation and you're probably not going to, in this case, survive it. It would be if your ass was in the jackpot at sea.
Our ass is in the jackpot now, okay?
Yeah, man.
Navigation's down. Yeah, the radio doesn't work.
We got issues out here on the open water.
And there's a storm overhead.
This ain't good. If something goes south here, we're in the ocean.
Our ass is in the jackpot now.
No, that's not good.
Like, how about back in the day when hurricanes hit, Like they're in the Atlantic.
Oh, man. And yeah,
they had just trying to do your trade route work.
Well, and they find all the, it's awesome how many times they're finding these ships thousands of years later in some cases. They find these ships at the bottom. And you're like, oh, what a horrible day at the office that was. They're out there. It's already, you're already a little nervous. You're like, oh, this is different. We're out here in the ocean. There's sea creatures out here. There's crazy dragons. Like they believed all that nonsense, right?
I never wanted the September route. That's not a good route to have.
And then that storm comes over the horizon. You're like, that'll do it. This is going to suck.
Captain, I advise we turn around. It's too late. We can't turn around. We won't get there in time.
Damn it, man.
Our ass is in the jackpot now.
Well, I was just trying to juxtapose a little bit of what's true terror and what's relative frustration. And we're in that now. We're in that. It's funny. I mean, we are a topic in the way that Nebraska has been a topic, in the way that so many schools went down for seemingly a little too long for their cachet. That's what we are now. We're a topic for a lot of the national shows to talk about. What happened to them? And I remember doing this with other programs. I remember from afar sitting here looking at, say, Nebraska, or even when I'm old enough to remember, obviously, when Oklahoma was down for a long time. And I can remember Notre Dame being down. Obviously, there's every one of the major programs have been down.
No, the 4 and 8ers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then you're looking at them like, how did you let that happen? How in the world could you be losing at home to Georgia Southern, who didn't complete a pass? Well, here we are.
Yeah, on the heels of losing to Vandy at homecoming.
Here we are. We're right there. That's us.
4 years. A little too long.
Right. And that is the current discussion. Like, why are they still meddling about looking like that? Still.
Right. Yeah. You need the ring announcer. And still.
Yeah. That's us right now. It's a damn it, man. It is. It's a damn it, man. It is. I don't know. I guess kickoff at 3:30. There's going to be that little feeling in your stomach, the pit of your stomach. Like, are we showing up? The first quarter.
I'll tell you what my stomach's going to be telling me.
Our ass is in the jackpot now. Okay.
My stomach's going to say, go get you a cold one, Jeff. We got to buckle in. We got to buckle in. Here we go. Because admit it. Here we are, a day away, really almost 24 hours out till that game kicks off, and we're sitting there going, all right, 2 fingers to my eyes, 2 fingers back to you. Are we showing up? Are we showing up? That's the first thing I'm on Quit Watch. What's the first thing I'm looking for? Are we showing up?
Yeah, it's Quit Watch, then it's Personnel Watch.
I don't think they're gonna screw up the personnel here.
They play everybody. Can we whittle it down a little bit?
Well, I think
was talking to Ira about that today, and you know what? That's true. They rotate a lot of bodies. Can we pick a few?
Well, I mean, they don't have a lot of depth. I get it. What area are you most concerned about that they play too many people?
Linebacker, first of all.
Well, they don't have any good linebackers.
Well, I would leave Deloach and Lundy out there at all times. As much as they possibly could run on a football field, I would ask them to. And I understand Deloach is out for the first half tomorrow, so it's a little bit mitigated. Running back, too many bodies, 1 too many. We know about that one.
Yep.
Receiver, how do you get any flow?
Well, we don't have anybody at receiver.
So let's just play everybody for 20 snaps so they don't get into the flow of the game. Quarterback, did that too. Looks like they've now parsed that down to 1 player. Okay, that's a little bit better. Even though I think Jordan could offer a lot in this game plan this weekend.
Oh.
Safety, we see like 6 safeties a game. I get D-line. That's the one you get.
You got to do
the one you get.
You got to do it on the defensive line because they're going to get worn down, and our front 4 is good. It's actually legitimately good.
We even show variety in our punting. We go left-footed. We go right-footed.
Well, I'm not as concerned about personnel. I'm concerned about the state of our personnel. That I was concerned about when camp started. Like, God, dog it, guys. We're just not very good. Look around here. We need better players. This is not good enough. Now, that is an overriding concern that I've had for some time.
I would also pick number 26 and play him more.
Yeah.
I don't need 9 getting roasted left and right.
Yeah. Well, point is, I'll worry about personnel. I'll worry about personnel more after I see the fight. Are we in the fight? Did we show up to fight? Is there anger? Are we catching tackles or are we delivering? Are we executing? Are we focused?
They've been delivering tackles even through the last game.
Through the 2 games, they are. Yeah. I'm just saying, is that still there? Is everything still intact? It has to be to win the game. I mean, we're not good enough to not do that and win a game.
No, that's been
obviously
proven.
Yes. Yeah. Well, time and again, for years, it's been proven. Over and over again. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3, Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Tonight, I promise we'll do it right. Be responsible and wise. Safety first, no compromise. Come and grab a drink with me. Can't drive a car without a key. So leave the keys at home, my friend. We don't want this night to end. Be responsible and wise. Safety first, no compromise. No compromise. Safety first, no compromise.
Be found at Hearth and Patio. In fact, anything related to fire can be found at Hearth and Patio. Fire pits, gas lighting, indoor and outdoor fireplaces, wood stoves, and even custom-built pizza ovens. Go see for yourself. Check out their services and products online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. That's hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Or give them a call, 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. At Hearth and Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
This is Patty Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're ready?
He's recording.
Why are you always saying your last name? It's Patty and Scott. Everybody knows
know that.
Patty and Scott.
I don't know. This is Patty Wilson. I am Patty Wilson.
What is the idea behind said promo?
It's for Patty's Playhouse. We're on Patty's Playhouse Saturdays at 11. Tune in. That's stupid. Just tune in. Saturdays at 11. Patty Wilson, Patty's Playhouse. House talk with a happy ending.
Each and every time.
Let's be honest, we all have way too much stuff. Maybe your storage closet is full, your garage is full, or the guest bedroom is a mess. Call Southeast Portable Buildings, 580-6400, or visit them online at southeastportablebuildings.com.
Barry knows cool, he's keeping They're comfortable, very nose cool. You can put them to the test.
Your home has been a place of great comfort. We can help you keep it that way. Barno Heating and Air is helping you get ready for summer with $1,500 off select new units, 0% financing for qualified buyers, plus worry-free maintenance plans. Learn more or schedule online at BarnoAC.com. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barno Heating and Air today. For license CAC 1816186.
While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
It all started with a simple family dream, some hard work, and the foundation of honest, loyal, and fair customer service. Now, Spartan Stoneworks is Tallahassee's premier granite, marble, and quartz specialist. Your kitchen is your family's gathering place. So let a company with strong family values bring your kitchen back to life. Stop wishing for your new kitchen and call Spartan Stoneworks today at 510-4249. That's 510-4249. Online at SpartanStoneworks.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Good to have you along. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, going to join us in a moment. Tallahassee Noles, take note. This one is for you, announcing the Bud Light Sideline Experience Contest. If you're a Nole in Tallahassee, text Bud Light Fan, all one word, to 31996. That's Bud Light Fan, all one word, to 31996. If you're the lucky winner, you score 2 sideline passes, hospitality passes, and fan gear for the FSU and Miami game on November the 13th. Must be 21 years of age or older to enter. Please enjoy responsibly. A message from local Anheuser-Busch beverage distributor Tri-Eagle Sales. There you go. There's that. Oh, look at that. We've got him. We're ready to roll. It's time to get to some picks. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us now. Hello, Lee. How the hell are you, buddy?
I'm good. Rough Saturday night.
At this point, it's just another loss, buddy. Just another loss. They come in bunches these days.
Yeah. I've been there for now going on close to 17, 18 years. So I will say this. So I'm talking to another host from Houston. He's texting me Sunday morning as we're playing basketball. And he's an A&M fan. But he says to me, do you know any Florida State fans?
He said, yes.
I said, well, actually, one's playing basketball with me right now, who lives right behind me. And he goes, how do you know he's a Florida State fan? I took a picture of his arm. He was a member of the 93 championship team, one of the safeties on special teams. He goes, oh, that would qualify. And then I said, I have another one who lives on the other side of me who has a 40-foot flagpole and has a Florida State flag flying there 24/7.
Pretty good indicator.
65. And a brick right before you go into his house, a Florida State brick. And he said, did you see him? And I said, oh, here's a picture. I took a picture of him going out to get his newspaper. I said, he didn't look too good.
We're still here, man. We're still here. No, I was in utter shock, as was everybody, including the rest of the country who happened to see that highlight and go, how does that happen? It can never happen. It should never happen. But it did. And at this point,
let me ask you, because I haven't had time of it studying games. Listen, did he make the comment after the game, your head coach, that they weren't in a prevent because they had a timeout left?
Yeah, he was worried that they were going to complete a 20-yard pass, call a timeout, and try to kick a field goal to tie the game.
Wow.
No, all of it is silly. It's all silly. I always say with coaches in moments like that, where your team has an absolute collapse or you put them in a terrible position or both, less is more. I mean, all you got to do is say, and he did open the press conference by saying, obviously, I didn't have the team prepared to play. I take total responsibility for that. He also apologized to the fan base, the players, the alumni, everything. He did all of that, which is what you have to do.
Of course.
But I would say less. I would not expound much, because the more you talk, the more absurd it sounds. When it's plain and obvious to everybody that there was a collapse and a miscommunication or just terrible coaching, you don't need to say as much. Just
back in the day. So we're a little old school, you and I. If that happens to one, you were on good teams too, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so my team lost 5 games in 4 years. That would have happened to my team. Oh well. In fact, I can point to a game. So we lost to Ransom Everglades. I'll never forget this. My second game, my freshman year, 14-7, a game we should have won by 3 or 4 touchdowns. And I'll never forget. He has the team together, and the parents are behind, and everyone thinks that that's it. So he says to the parents, you need to pick up any of your kids. I think it was about 6:30. He says, you can come back at 10 o'clock tonight. We ran.
And
I'll never forget this. He told us, and it never happened again. And as long as I was there, after I graduated the next year after that it happened, he goes, you will never lose a game at home on this field ever again.
Well, the thing is, if you have good players and it happens, then, you're able to fall back on, motivation, attention to detail, all that stuff. It gets your attention. But if you're a bad team with a broken psyche and no sense of what it means to win, Florida State hasn't won in 4 years. So, Lee, it's not like those kids can fall back on a good season or a good game. They haven't. And so they're broken right now. And when you're down in the dumps, that you need something good to happen to you. Look at what happens. So we've talked about this before, and we'll get to the games in a second. But Scott Frost goes undefeated at UCF, right? He got things rolling when he got there. He got them moving, and all of a sudden they start winning games, and then they win all of them, right? And all of a sudden Scott Frost is the toast of the town. He's not had a single thing go right since he got to Nebraska. Now, which is it? He's either a really good coach who somehow went undefeated at UCF, or he's a raging moron who never knew what he was doing and lucked into an undefeated season. I don't think so. No. It's like you have to have some things go right so you can gain some momentum, begin to get some belief and conviction in what you're doing, and they don't have any. They sit around looking for somebody else to make a play because they don't know what to do. They haven't had any success, and Mike's in a desperate situation now. They got to go on the road and play well against Wake Forest and hopefully get a win and begin to believe again that you can. Because right now, I don't know.
Say this. So I've seen a lot of these scenarios you and I have with you. Sometimes when you hit rock bottom, might be the best thing.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to go but up.
Right, and you find out who's going to buy in. So, I don't know what went on. Now, unfortunately, you can only keep the players there so many hours of the week. But I can tell you this much. If I was a head coach, even if you didn't have the most talented team in the world, they would have been running for 4 or 5 hours. So
Alabama minus 15.5 against Florida. Bama has owned Florida. Great game last year in the SEC Championship. First time they've gone into the swamp since 2009, though. So this could be interesting, especially if Anthony Richardson plays. What do we know about this game?
So I think he needs to play.
Yeah.
They want to have a chance in this game. He's a gazelle. He is scary good.
Yes, he is.
And he's averaging, this isn't a misprint. If you go out and get your newspaper, you open it up, you see 25 yards per carry. It's not a misprint. So he should be playing 90% of the time over Emory Jones. Said that to begin the season. Dan Mullen, 0-10 versus Nick Saban. Hasn't tasted victory since he was an offensive coordinator with Urban Meyer as his head coach and Tim Tebow as the quarterback in the 2008 SEC title game. But he has covered 5 of the last 8 games. I think it all begins with a coin toss. So I don't normally watch the coin toss, but let's watch the coin toss together. If they win the coin toss and defer, I'm going to feel like throwing a brick through the TV. You have to, if you're down by 10 points or more against Alabama, you got a 0.00 chance of winning the game. So you got to try to accept the kickoff like we used to do when we played high school, right?
Well, if you're good, you take it. Yes. And
you want to do, what with it right down there, what. And I think they have a chance to stay close here. Todd Grantham, he's a pretty darn good defensive coordinator. I think he's going to show a ton of different looks and dial up a variety of blitz packages, maybe slow down Bryce Young, which Miami couldn't do. So Bama was a 2-touchdown favorite in the SEC title game last year and only won by 6 points. And this team is not as good as last year. Bama escapes 35-31. First time they're playing in the swamp in a decade, and I think it's going to be a tough place to win.
If Anthony Richardson's not able to go, though, Florida's going to get blown out. I'll just put that caveat out there.
I agree.
UNC -9 against Virginia. Virginia has played well. Your thoughts on this game?
They have, and they have a quarterback who presents some problems. When Brennan Armstrong is on, he is really good. He's underrated. His wide receivers also, they have not done this in a while. I noticed his wide receivers are getting separation. So when you watch a game, and if you see they're getting separation, they have a chance to win this game here. North Carolina, they're being hunted now. They're not the hunter. 3-7 as a home favorite last 10 games here. And Bronco Mendenhall can coach. I always love the guy. I think he's one of the best. Here's his philosophy. I don't know if people realize it in a nutshell. He wants to get you in 3rd and 5 or longer. And that's the key. He tries to do whatever he can the first 2 plays. And then if he does, he's almost always blitzing you on 3rd down because he wants to make the quarterback get rid of the ball quickly. And that's the way his coverages are set up here. He won last year. He upset them, did North Carolina 44-41 in Scott Stadium against one of the best North Carolina teams we've seen in a while on Halloween night. I think it's going to be close. I think North Carolina emerges victorious 38-34, but I'm taking the 9.
Yeah, I like the 9 there too. All right, your Canes. This was a number. So here's what I did. I took Miami this week, and you can tell me I'm crazy, but I took Miami this week because I saw the value in that this was a 17.5-point spread during the summer. When it first came out, the Canes were favored by 17.5. Now everybody looks at Miami after that lackluster performance against App State and getting blown out by Alabama, and they think, I don't know, maybe Miami sucks. And Michigan State's been a little bit better than people thought they would be. So is the 6.5? Are you taking? Or are you going to go ahead and take Miami and lay the 6.5?
This is the toughest game. This and the Florida State game this week, I really went back and forth. I'm not going to lie. Both games will not be on my card. I think it's a trap play, but for the sake of the show and the sake of making a pick, I think Michigan State's the right side. You know, they ran for 326 yards on Northwestern, normally a pretty good run defense. Kenneth Walker has been really good in the first 2 games, 5 touchdowns, 321 rushing yards, and I think he'll have some success. I don't think the Miami defensive line's that good. I don't think their linebackers are good. They have no depth there. Their offensive line, they opened up the 2 positions on the offensive line this week to see who's going to start. I mean, that just tells you what's going on. Now, Michigan State plays a lot of 4-3 cover too. So Miami has to be patient. They're going to have to run the ball some and throw to Will Mallory. Tight ends are important. Team that runs a lot of cover too. Will Mallory's only caught, I think, like 3 balls all year. He needs to catch 5, 6, 7 balls for them to be victorious. I just don't think Miami's physical enough, talented enough, or coach their kids up well enough to win and cover. I think Michigan State's going to pull off the upset 27-24.
Oh, Lee, I'm so torn on this. I'll lose money if that happens, but I will be happy. Wake Forest -5.5 against the Noles. Just so you know, I actually took the Noles to go on the road and get the win here. Who'd you take?
So did I. Now, I did do some checking, and I went against Washington last week, felt that they were just not going to be able to get back up. Most teams cannot get back up after they lose to an FCS opponent. In fact, they're 15-17-1 the last 5 years.
Ouch.
And I checked, there was not one great performance, but there's a big but. As good as Wake Forest's offense is, and they are prolific, they've scored 46 points per game the last 5 games, but they have been they were outstatted in a lot of those games. And the first 2 games against Old Dominion and Norfolk State, they've only held an edge of 42-36 in first downs. I think their defense is just, they don't know how to hold leads. So I'm going to call for the upset here. ACC dog of the day here. Noles 7-1 of benching the ACC dog of less than 10 points. Florida State outright 38-35.
That's a great pick, Lee.
Yeah.
Buffalo -3.5 against the Dolphins. I took the Dolphins getting the 3.5. I love that defense. I like that Dolphins team. It's a fun team to root for, and I want to see the Bills go 0-2. I'll just say it out loud because the guy accused me of hating the Bills yesterday. So, who do you got?
I'd love to see it. I think it's going to be tough. I would love to have seen.
Come on. It's hot down there, Lee. Buffalo can't handle that heat.
If Buffalo wins the first game, Miami has a better chance. They're going to be angry the way they blew that second half lead. Miami has trouble against Josh Allen. You got to rush 4 against him. You can't rush 3. He has killed Miami throwing the ball down the field. That's why Miami kept 12 defensive backs, I believe, on their roster, and also running the ball. It seems like he runs every game against them. He has a 30, 40, 50-yard run. So I think Miami is much improved. I still don't love the offensive line, and I don't know if the front seven is as good as last year. I'm taking the Bills here. I think they win here 37-30 in a shootout.
You mentioned Allen plays well against Miami. I think he's undefeated against them. Yeah. He's owned them.
5-1. 5-1.
Oh, is it 5-1? Okay.
Yeah.
Game of the week is a good one. It's the first time in 91 years that Auburn has ventured outside of their comfort zone and gone to a Big Ten school to play a game. This ought to be fun. Penn State -6 against Auburn. How do folks get that game from you, Lee?
Just call 800-400-9741. Again, the number 800-400-9741. We'll give you that game for free. I love this Penn State-Auburn game. Strongest game I've had maybe in 3 or 4 weeks. So you want to get on it. 800-400-9741. We hit our 50-unit play.
Yes, we did. We were sweating it out, but we hit it.
10 to 50 units. We are 53 and 18 now, the last 15 years since we went to that unit rating system. And we hit it with Carolina, the Panthers. So they came through for us. I have a 40-unit play going in college football on Saturday in 2 50 units. Never had this before. UFC selections on Saturday night. It's all up and available. ParamountSports.com.
Lee, I have my phone here with me. Now, you know what to do.
I'll text you right now.
Yeah, right now. I want that text right now. Good to see you. Good to talk to you, Lee.
Okay, Jeff.
Be good. All right. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. I got it right here, Lee. Let's go. I'm waiting on that text.
Internally here, we're a big believer in the 40-unit plays more than we are the 50-unit
Well, last week was a 50-unit play, and we got the win.
That's true.
We got the win. Chicka-chicka. We got that win, baby. I took it.
Thank you, Ferris Bueller.
I watched that game. I've never thought in a million years I would tune in with bated breath to check out Carolina versus the Jets. But, boy, was I locked into that one. What a game. What a game indeed. That 2-point conversion, Tom, you'd have thought I was watching the Bucs in the Super Bowl. It's like, all right, here we go, defense.
Well, I will say one thing about that. That's more compelling than either of the Bucs Super Bowls.
No, they were blowout victories for the Bucs.
Right.
We were in celebration mode at halftime of those games.
Indeed.
I'll tell you something before we go to break here. I was on the edge of my seat there in the Carolina Jets game, and Bryce walked in. I love there's no doubt I've made a probably negative impression in some ways. Some might say that on my kids in this regard. Like, they know their dad's strengths and weaknesses. They're all out there to be seen. And he said, so who do you have? He didn't even, because he looked at the screen and he saw how nervous I was. He was like, it's the Jets in Carolina. Who do you have? And I'm like, we need to stop here, son. He's like, all right, I'll watch with you. And we got the stop, and he's like, all right. And we slapped 5, and he
Come on, Bryce. You know what they say about casting lots in the sacred scriptures. We need to be a little bit better about these things.
That is a great stop. That's a big stop, Carolina. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk, Radio Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Tallahassee Police Department is currently investigating a shooting that occurred just after 2:30 a.m. Thursday. The shooting took place at an apartment complex in the 1500 block of West Tharp Street. When officers arrived on the scene, they located one victim, an adult male, deceased. Detectives asked anyone who may have witnessed the shooting to call TPD at 850-891-4200 or to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers at 850-574-TIPS. A jury deliberated for 2 hours Wednesday evening before finding Johnny Anderson not guilty of murder. Anderson was accused of shooting Andrew Glover 6 times outside a Waffle House back on September 13, 2017. The jury started deliberating in the case at 5 p.m. and returned with a not guilty verdict soon after 7. Prosecutors say surveillance video placed Anderson at the scene, but the actual shooting took place out of the camera's view. Leon County court records now show the case is closed. Anderson fought for over 4 years for the right outcome. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Mac&More Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macandmoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 86. Southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms likely tonight. Lows level off around 72. Cloudy skies expected. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow. Highs around 84. Overcast skies. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 82.
See Nice Tire and Auto Service at 4792 Bluntstown Highway today. The ASC trained technicians at Nice take the guesswork out of fixing your car. That's why wherever you see the Goodyear sign, you'll find what you want in tires and service. From preventative maintenance to a major overhaul and everything in between, you name it. Plus, Nice's services are backed by a nationwide limited warranty. Stop by Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Greg Tish, Real Talk 93.3.
Hey, everybody, this is Greg Tish. Thank you so much for listening to Real Talk 93.3. Don't forget, you can check out me and Maddie Rowe every Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on The Greg Tish Show. Wake up with a smile with The Greg Tish Show. How's that sound, Maddie Rowe? Is that a good promo for you?
That's good enough for me.
Is that good? Are we
It's
at
good for
30
everybody.
seconds yet?
Right about now.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Paramount Sports took Florida to cover the 15.5 against Bama. He took Virginia to cover the 9 against North Carolina. He took Michigan State to cover the 6.5, win the game outright against Miami. Took Florida State to cover the 5.5. So we are all taking underdogs here. But he took Buffalo to beat Miami by more than 3.5. And I don't know what he selected just yet on that Penn State-Auburn game.
That Virginia pick feels so correct that I feel like North Carolina is going to win by 20 plus. Now, I've been on North Carolina. I'm 2 for 2 picking North Carolina so far this year. I think he's correct. I think Virginia and Brock, well, they're a better coach, period, first of all. So easy to see when it's not in your own backyard, right? Like, oh, because if you compare these two coaches for Florida State and Wake Forest, you'd say Clawson is the superior coach right now. It's not close. Clawson,
Well, I mean, he's just, he does more with less, yes.
And those teams don't make a whole lot of mistakes where you go, good Christmas, what is wrong with you? Same thing in that situation. Bronco has the Cavs ready to go. Here comes Virginia every week, and they're ready. They play above their heads. Mac, there's a lot of star power, not a lot of substance.
Well, it's a complicated deal with Mac. He hasn't been there the second go-around very long at all, and they immediately got into the conversation in the Coastal. They immediately won some games they shouldn't have. They were right there, should have beat Clemson. So I can't say that just now. I mean, North Carolina was nowhere, and he got there, and all of a sudden they mattered to the point where they were overrated. So I think that, I mean, listen.
They lost 6 games the first year, and then last year they caught Clemson napping, but so is Pitt and NC State.
My point is we're nowhere close to doing anything like that, and he's made them relevant in the Coastal pretty quickly.
Beat his ass.
They've also recruited well. I mean, that's the one win. Hey, man, my man's won 3 games. One of them was North Carolina.
Right.
We're just going to keep bringing that up because that's all we have. The other 2 are Jacksonville State and Duke.
Well, we're 500 against Jacksonville State in the Norvell era, that's good.
I mean, damn it, man. It's one of those things where I think, obviously when we talk about hitting rock bottom, when we talk about trying to find your way, navigating your way out of this mess, you really have to
win a football game.
You have to win a football game. I mean, we can talk about wanting to see the effort, and we did. We want to see that those guys are where they're supposed to be. That's part of coaching. At some point, and even somebody like me who's willing to concede that the circumstances in which you take over and don't have a spring football and then hit by COVID and can't recruit that's ridiculous. It's absurd, right? I'm willing to concede that the 3-6 campaign from a year ago is a nothing thing to me. But you know what happens when you lose games like they've lost now? Suddenly that goes back on your record, because that you're seeing that now. You're seeing like, oh, well, through 11 games, my man's 3-8. It go, now if you win some games early this year, like, oh, well, you can't count last year. But when you're losing games, now it comes back on your resume.
Oh, sure. I mean, the first thing I thought of after the final play of the game last week was 3rd and 17. Like, oh, okay. So that wasn't a fluke, getting caught up in the moment thing. We've been caught up in the moment several times now.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. And a lot of the times what's frustrating about that is when you watch it, you go, it's unnecessary, Mike. You actually finally have some guys up front that you can trust.
Or Adam, both of them. Obviously, Mike could say, whoa, what are we doing here?
Mike hears that on the headset. He's got to override that quickly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Corey put it right. It was 4th and 60. That's basically what that play was.
Yep.
4th and 60.
The Jeff Cameron Show on Warchant TV is brought to you in part by Lane's Medical Shop with locations in Colquitt and Donaldsonville. Lane's Medical Shop offers you all your medical supply needs. They even have delivery and emergency services available. Lane's Medical Shop, 229-758-9111. Tell them Jeff Cameron and Warchant.com sent you for a half-off discount. Doesn't suck, huh? Come back, wrap up the hour momentarily.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
Hello, I'm Travis Sparkman, owner of T-Spark Enterprises. Rain season is upon us, and we get calls for water intrusion in residential and commercial space every time it rains. Most people see a ceiling stain and they think they have a roof leak. We see a ceiling stain and begin to investigate because often we find it's not a roof leak. Many of our leak investigations lead to other building construction issues outside of the roof. We beg you, don't pay for roof repairs when the water intrusion may be a masonry leak or a poor construction design in your home or business. Give us a call at 766-1340 and let our experienced leak technicians diagnose the problem and prevent you from throwing away good money. License number CCC 133-1204.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
This is Dr. James Ryan Finn from Finn Chiropractic. The number one myth about chiropractic is you don't have to take care of your spine until it hurts. Most patients come in with symptoms, neck pain, back pain, headaches. Those are not the cause of your problem. That's the result of your problem. So unmask the cause of your problem at Finn Chiropractic through the Phenomenal Health Examination. So if you're a loved one or having neck pain, back pain, or headaches, don't mask the symptom, unmask the cause at Finn Chiropractic, because your chiropractor loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
Do you know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Edition, I could bring it up. It did make me laugh, and I have to credit Rich Eisen for doing it. I saw the video yesterday of the Alabama player talking about Nick Saban's sayings and things that he references?
No. Like the
God.
all right stuff? And
it is hilarious. The reason it's hilarious is that an SID is telling the player pretty quickly, no, that's enough. Because Saban apparently loves D's jokes.
Oh, really?
Loves them. And gets guys all the time. And the player is asked about Saban's sayings, because he has so many of them, right? He talks about how you win games and discipline and how to function day to day and, getting back to the process and all that, right? So the reporter clearly wants to hear a player reference one of the many cliches or sayings or tropes that, Saban rolls out there on a daily basis to motivate his players. Because at the beginning of this week, Saban did what he always does. He acted as if he was angry with his team. He talked about penalties. He talked about how they're undisciplined. He talked about how you're going to lose games. And he explained why that was important. He does this all the time, especially when they're cruising to victories. He doesn't want them to rest on their laurels. So I'm sure that's why he was asked. But anyhow, the player's like, oh, I don't know. He loves to talk about D's. Get you some of these and stuff. And then you can hear the SID go, no. And he repeats it a couple of times without saying the second part of it.
I wish that the SID was as out of touch as Nick is, because he wouldn't have understood. You'd be like, okay, seems like a reasonable answer. He does. You know what? He says that all the time.
Well, it's funny. It is funny. It actually makes me laugh thinking about Saban engaging in those jokes. It makes him human. That's funny. If he does that to players, that's just funny. To me, I would crack up with that. If you go find it, I'll give, again, you just go to
at ESPN Greeny.
No. It's what's his face. I just got done saying it. Rich Eisen.
Yeah,
go look up Rich Eisen's thing. I saw it yesterday. It's hilarious. First of all, they laugh for 20 minutes because they keep replaying it. And it also gets back to sort of the reporters in the room having to follow up on that. Like, that's like, what do you ask next? What do you say? There's Matt Leinart was the one who had to go to the podium after Dennis Green went on his rant about the Bears. They are who we thought they were. And at the very end of that rant, his hat's disheveled and he's screaming and he's pounded the dais and he said everything. The best part is the very, very end. The poor media guy for the Cardinals goes, okay, everybody, Matt Leinart will be up next. If you have questions for Matt, and nobody ever hears that part of it. But I would love to see what Matt Leinart had to do to try to walk into the room after that and just answer questions like that. No, there's nothing more to say at that point.
No, there's nothing.
But I like the media relations guy. Okay, that's all for Coach. Matt Leinart's up next. And I also would like to hear Nick Saban making D's jokes.
Oh, sure.
It makes him human.
That way, if you could get that on an audio clip, I think we'd use that routinely.
I also believe you probably could. I mean, that's got to be, that has to
He's
have
had
been
some unfortunate clips in which,
No, I think that something had to have been recorded at some point of him, especially if he's so fond of him.
So ESPN Greeny, Rich Eisen, and I won't refer to him as Mike anymore. ESPN Greeny, Rich Eisen, and Bob Costas are at the ESPYs and having a conversation. Who speaks about himself first in the conversation? Who talks about himself first?
That'd be Costas. It's close between he and Greeny. It's not Rich. I like Rich.
Yeah. Oh, I like Rich fine. He's a really good driver, but I think Rich might talk about Rich a little bit.
Oh, you don't get to where they are without sizable egos, but I think that.
You think Costas wins that race?
Oh, I think
he's like the freeze in that race.
I think Costas. It's close between he and Greeny, though. It's really close. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Capitol Police Department officials have held a briefing concerning security preparations for Saturday's rally at the U.S. Capitol. Capitol Police Acting Assistant Chief Sean Gallagher.
The internal planning that we've done has included multiple training exercises for our civil disturbance units, scenario exercises for our command staff, as well as detailed briefings for all of our officers. Our officers are ready.
Rally participants say the rally is aimed at showing support for those arrested as a result of the January 6 riot. Also at townhall.com, the White House is warning that the debt limit showdown could hurt state budgets. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with that report.
President Biden and his aides are sounding the alarm about what could happen if Congress fails to raise the U.S. debt limit by early next month. According to a fact sheet for state and local officials, the White House warns about severe cuts to disaster relief, Medicaid, infrastructure grants, school funding, and other programs. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell is resisting calls for a bipartisan vote to raise the ceiling for debt that's already been accrued. Greg Clugston, Washington.
New Yorkers will be able to avoid jail time for the most nonviolent parole violations under a new law signed by Governor Kathy Hochul. The law largely eliminates New York's practice of incarcerating people for technical parole violations, including being late for an appointment with a parole officer, missing curfew, changing a residence without approval, and failing to attend a mandated program. Supporters say incarcerating people for technical parole violations is costly. The Republican minority in the legislature accusing Democrats of focusing more on perpetrators of crimes than victims. The Dow is down 195 points. The S&P 41 points lower. More at townhall.com.
Right now, people are home with their pets more often, and I think especially with the shedding, they're more cognizant of what's going on and that it's an actual issue.
Olive got some skin issues. He gets really going and scratching.
Excessive shedding, a lot of just scratching and itching.
Digging, scratching, and itching and biting. On top of that, he was starting to get black buildup in his ears.
DINOVITE.com.
I just heard the Dynovite commercial so many times that I said, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And I ordered it and tried it, and it worked.
We started Dynovite, and in our first stock, we noticed a difference, especially with the shedding.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
We've got 4 dogs, all different ages, all different sizes, and they've all just responded really well to the Dynovite, and they all love it.
We will be using Dynovite for life.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
We order our Dynovite from Dynovite.com. DINOVITE.com.
What's important when shopping at a gun store? Let's start with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Then add top-notch service, great selection and pricing, and a personal shopping experience only found at a locally owned and operated business. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
Warchant.com is the ultimate inside source for FSU football and recruiting. Get in on the action for free for an entire month. Warchant.com is offering a risk-free 30-day trial subscription just by entering the promo code WARCHANT30. That's WARCHANT30. Get in on the world's most active FSU message boards. Receive breaking news, stories from our award-winning staff, plus get exclusive interviews and videos. Just enter the promo code WARCHANT30. WARCHANT.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All out sneeze. Get ready for a scouting report on your back-to-back champion Tampa Bay Lightning. It's coming.
Back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning atop the noggin today, buddy. I was walking out the door, went, don't mind if I do.
There it is. It's a good choice.
Don't mind if I do. Although I cannot even, and oh, by the way, speaking of which, there are other things that could grab our attention, such as the ACC men's basketball
That's right.
schedule.
When are we going to do some W's and L's for the hoop schedule?
Oh, it's so hard. It's such a weird deal with that. I actually, I need to reach out to Coach Hamilton. I've been meaning to call him for a different reason, and I haven't, and I have been remiss, so I'm sorry if you're listening, Coach Hamilton. I have not reached out, but I'm going to soon. I've got it right here in front of me.
Woo, wait a minute. You're kidding.
No, it's right here. I don't want to do W's and L's right now.
Oh, okay.
I want a little time. The ACC unveiled the men's basketball conference schedule for all 15 teams. They, some would say, did FSU a favor. Let's go through all these. You want to look at them?
For W's and L's, or just look at them?
The Noles will play 31 regular season games, 20 ACC, 11 non-conference, 15 will be played at the TLC-CC, 10 ACC, 5 non-conference, 12 more on the road, 10 in the ACC, 2 non-conference, and the remaining 4 games will all be non-conference games at neutral sites. So that's what we have. So we have Penn, followed by Florida right off the bat. We have Florida the second week of the
Sunday the 14th.
Yep. And then it's Tulane here. Good old Loyola Marymount, man. Back in the day. Remember Loyola Marymount? That's in the Jacksonville Classic at UNF opening round. SMU or Missouri also in that same tournament in the consolation game, perhaps, or the championship. We'll see. And then it's Boston University, November the 24th, at Purdue in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, by the way.
We always play Purdue or Minnesota.
It feels that way.
Right?
We had a run where we played Northwestern a lot.
Yeah.
And that was annoying.
We did have that one game against Rutgers where the officials clearly fixed the game to make sure that Rutgers covered.
But we won.
We did.
Well,
the whistles
They couldn't have stopped talking about Rutgers. I mean, they would prattle on for days.
My God. Waste management was in full force that day.
That is true. ACC openers against Syracuse. There we go. 4:00 on ESPN2, buddy.
Okay. That's early December.
December the 4th. That's a Saturday.
I looked through this ACC schedule. I'll tell you what the over-under on my win total is, not knowing anything about the rotation yet. I know some of the players that come back, but obviously we've got a lot of dudes that need to prove some things beyond being blue chippers. Yeah. But, that schedule
Well, let me go through this, and then I want your win. You actually did this last night before you went to bed.
I did.
I like that.
I needed to feel positive about something.
Well, here we are. South Carolina and Rock Hill, South Carolina. There you go.
Yeah.
The only nice place besides the beaches.
We could make that trip.
We could, because there is coffee. We established that.
Right. And, just use the travel budget for basketball instead of football, right?
That's true. I was going to be on Snuggy Hill this weekend.
Were you really, though? What was the percentage chance that it was actually going to happen?
I was going. If we had won, I was going. Forget about it. I was leaving. And I was going to ask you to come with me, and we were going to bring that travel kit and do our show from up there. We were doing this thing. It was going to happen.
What day were we going to leave?
Today.
Oh, okay.
Sons of bitches screwed us. Sorry, lot.
So we would have found an Ethernet cord somewhere next to the hill and just, set up. And
I don't know. We probably couldn't have done the show on Snuggy Hill, but we could have done it from Winston-Salem.
That would have been pretty sick.
I was ready to go.
Doing the show on the hill?
Oh, it would have been great. We're the only ones out here, guys.
You could play the fool on the hill for us.
We're enjoying We're enjoying the hill. Then it's Lipscomb. I always like when we play Lipscomb. Come on, Lipscomb. UCF Orange Bowl Classic and Sunrise. We play that every year. That's
always play a bad game down there.
But we win. We always win down there.
Except for the Oklahoma State year. We lost on the runner at the buzzer.
Yeah, that's a hurtful. It stuck with you. UNF on the 21st. Then it's at Boston College. We have a stretch of 3 straight road ACC games. At BC, at NC State, at Wake.
Got to get fat on those 3.
And then it's Louisville, Miami, back-to-back home games. And then it's on the road at Syracuse. Then we return home on Big Monday, January 17th, ESPN in town. Dick Vitale, Florida State, and Duke.
My last trip.
Will we be in the Vista? Will we have a great locale for us to celebrate? I think so.
We're working on it.
Yeah, that's going to happen. If the fine folks over there at the TLC-CC know what's good for them, what are you doing? That's we're right there, guys. Come on.
Never coming back to Tallahassee again.
No, he won't. He has not enjoyed his time here, even though he's got
this raggedy town.
Then we're at Miami, at Georgia Tech. That is Virginia Tech. Here, that is then at Clemson. Wake Pitt at North Carolina. That is to be televised on a Saturday in February where it'll be brisk on ESPN or ESPN2.
That's brisk, baby.
It'd be nice. Then it's Clemson, then at Duke, at Virginia, home to Notre Dame, home to NC State, and let the the ACC tournament begin in Brooklyn.
Oh, it's in Brooklyn this year. There's another thing we can do. We got to travel up there.
Let's go to Brooklyn, and you can try to get me a bagel and convince me that it's the greatest thing of all time.
If you have taste buds, you will be convinced. Yes.
All right. Well, I want a Brooklyn bagel in Brooklyn.
We could go stay in, I know a couple places in the Rockaway, some beautiful dinners, all kinds. Got a place downtown in Manhattan. We go to the Flatiron Room. Yeah, enjoy some single malts and some jazz.
MC Search is from Rockaway, third base. We could maybe run into him. Who knows?
Oh,
yeah.
That's going to be some good times. I'm planning it in my brain. You can see it. The wheels are turning. 11.5 conference wins. 11.5 conference
I
wins.
have not spent any time with this.
We have 3 consecutive Saturdays on the road in which we play North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia. I don't know if that's the order.
No, it's not. It's North Carolina, Clemson, Duke, Virginia.
No, 3 consecutive Saturdays on the road.
Oh, yeah. So we do only have one Saturday, Monday turnaround. That quick one, that's that January 15th at Syracuse, followed by Big Monday at the TLC against Duke, and you'll get up for that at home.
Sure, it's an awkward turnaround, though, because you're playing against the 2-3, and then you're playing against Coach K and, freak athletes.
So think about this. North Carolina, Virginia, and Louisville each have 3 of those quick turnarounds. We only have the one.
Okay,
I like that. There you go, ACC.
That's right. Flex on them, Florida State.
Old John Swafford out there. Swaffy not out there to cuddle up next to the Tar Heels. They decided, get you some.
Yeah, he always takes the cuddling too far.
This season, the ACC has avoided scheduling any games on Thursdays, so none of the teams will have to deal with a short Thursday-Saturday turnaround. Noles also don't have the 7 non-conference games on their slate prior to the ACC opener, home against Syracuse on 12-4. They don't get ambushed like they did against Pitt to open the 2019. Yeah, you know how that
cafeteria.
Yeah, in the cafeteria. Poorly lit at that.
84 free throws.
The home and away games, Miami and Clemson, also have home and away games with Duke, Syracuse, NC State, and Wake, along with single home games against Louisville, Virginia Tech, Pitt, and Notre Dame, as well as single road games at BC. That's also poorly lit. At Georgia Tech.
I feel like a lot of bank shots go in there, not just because of the one, just in general, a lot of bank shots.
A lot of nonsense. At North Carolina and at Virginia. Of the 11 ACC games played on Saturdays,
is their backboard in Boston College Chestnut Hill, is it made out of plywood? Or is it
they all drop
see-through?
5 will be at the TLC Syracuse, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Wake, and NC State. Anyhow, we'll look at the team. We'll go through and talk about who's what and what we expect from Raekwon Evans, Malik Osborne, Anthony Polite.
Malik Osborne and Anthony Polite. Looking forward to watching them this season. This should be good.
I have not washed my hands of Raekwon Evans.
I haven't either. I'm just not, I'm looking forward to seeing Malik and
you're putting your stock in Wyatt Wilkes.
Mr. Polite, obviously on defense as well.
Wilkes will be back again.
Okay, so he's good for 2 ACC wins.
There'll be 2 games where my man just goes butt crazy.
One of them will be Notre Dame in the penultimate game of the season. He's going to hit 6 threes in that game. You can mark it down in ink.
Ira's favorite player, Ngom, will be back.
Oh, yeah. You guys get to have that debate every Monday. I'm looking forward to that.
It's not going to be a debate.
That'll be fun.
He's going to step it up. I'm going to let Ira have his moment. Here we go, Ngom. Catch the ball. Catch the ball. You have giant hands. Catch the ball.
They do develop these players.
They do.
Guys who have a lot of raw ability, but the height to go with it, they develop these guys.
So they do. He'll be better. I know for a fact he'll be better. I don't know if he'll be good, but he'll be better. By the way, Caleb Mills is who you want to see. That's the Houston transfer, the point guard. Here we go, baby. Come on.
We're going to run a real offense.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. Yeah.
The Scotty thing. Well, the Scotty thing was a square peg round hole, man.
Well, they were trying to help a kid out. It worked for him. Now
it sure did.
Now you use it. Now you use it as another first rounder, another top 10, another, that's what you do.
Such an interesting departure for Caleb Mills because it's not like Houston was careening into the side of a mountain. It's a very good program.
Yes.
Elite program of late.
No, it was strange. I don't know what to think about that. I do know that guys fly straight when they get here. So
right.
Whatever had to happen to get that right, then, that's I suppose happened. I don't know,
Can we consistently hit threes this year? That'd be nice.
We have more to go through.
I wish old Chef came back. One more year for Turk. Unfortunately, he left. Every year, we lose that one extra guy. Like, there are the people we expect to lose, and then there's that one extra dude that says goodbye.
This is a great number to throw out there, and we'll leave basketball in the rear view as we get set for football this weekend.
Oh, please, let's stay. I like it here.
FSU's going into this season trying to accomplish something, which would be their 5th top 4 ACC finish in 6 seasons. That's amazing.
That's why I like it here.
We reside with winners here.
clean bathrooms.
Everywhere you look, everybody's a winner here. Yeah, there's a lot of winning going on over here.
No plastic on the couches, no bars on the windows.
No. Yeah, that's true. A lot of winning here when we talk about the FSU basketball neighborhood. Now, when we have to slum it and we go into the FSU football neighborhood, it's tough. Tough times.
Never really get good sleep there.
Never get good sleep, nutritional problems. I always feel like we're on the verge of somebody turning an argument into physical violence. It's just a problem, man. The seats that we've talked about the tent of suspicion and where you eat and where you live and all that. And man, you just have to hope
we're doing a
frozen
jalapeno poppers again.
This is TV dinners. Mm-hmm. When we get invited over to Florida State football, it's TV dinners, buddy.
Do they still make them? I don't know. They did it one time though, because we have them in the freezer. So that's what we're
here. We go, boys. Yeah. TV dinners. God, I would can we talk next week about a damn win? It feels like it's been forever. I know at the end of the year they beat Duke, but
going near a year now without a win. Good 10.5 months without a football win.
I mean, many of those months you're not playing, but still, it's so frustrating.
Might be favorable against the idea of
this is what we have to do. This is what we've been reduced to.
That's why it's a Libations Friday, man. It's not too early to start happy hour. Do it.
We're trying to get like spikes for an 0-2 team coming off a loss.
How many likes would we get if we shotgun a beer right now? What do you think,
folks?
folks?
That's illegal. The FCC frowns against that. A lot of these people are going to say, absolutely, go ahead. It is Libations Friday. It is Loosey Goosey. But it ain't that Loosey Goosey. Not until after 3 o'clock. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Have you ever finished a painting project at your home or business and thought to yourself, wow, that was fun. I really like how sore my arms and hands are. And those sloppy edges and corners, I'll get used to it. Not a chance. So before you get all your brushes and rollers and buckets and blankets, contact B&B Painting of Tallahassee. Interior painting, exterior, commercial, whatever you need painted, B&B Painting of Tallahassee is your first choice. Get a fast, friendly, and free quote today with a quick visit to bnbpaintingtallahassee.com. That's B&B Painting. Tallahassee.com.
Hi, Chris Kraft for the Kraft Brothers dealerships. At Kraft Nissan, we've been amazed at the number of Toyota and Honda people trading up to Nissan's new family of SUVs. The changes are stunning. And don't just take my word for it. Motor Trend tagged Rogue as the 2021 SUV of the Year finalist, adding that Rogue can go toe-to-toe with Honda and Toyota. Well, guess what, Tallahassee? We can't keep the new Rogues on the showroom floor. Seriously, if you haven't seen one for yourself, come take a test drive and you'll see the new Rogue sells itself. In the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder, it's roomier, quicker, and better equipped. Plus, the second row seats easily slide and flip forward to allow access to the third row, even with a child seat installed. And finally, Car and Driver says savvy shoppers will be surprised by the new Armada's luxuriousness. So I encourage SUV lovers to come see the new Nissan family of SUVs. Everyone knows that Nissan SUVs have more standard equipment than the competition. The award-winning Rogue, Pathfinder, and Armada, only at Kraft Nissan, Mahan Drive, Tallahassee.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool. You can put him to the test.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. This summer, you can save money and stay comfortable. Ask about our annual service agreement with no overtime charges ever. At Barano Heating and Air, we're always there for you.
Online at baranoac.com.
Keeping you comfortable is what Barry does best.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
Hey, Nole fans. Our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state government, including public health and emergency response agencies, our friends at ISF recognize September as National Preparedness Month and want to help you be safe this hurricane season. Visit ISF.com to learn more and download your emergency preparedness plan today. ISF, solving the future.
1/3 of Americans over the age of 55 have less than $25,000 in savings heading into retirement, and 34% have no savings at all. Maximizing your Social Security benefits is going to be a significant part of planning for the road ahead. If this sounds like you, or maybe even a loved one, give me a call. I can help. I'm Craig Collins with Collins Income Tax Solutions, and I'm offering free consultations to anyone looking to learn how to maximize their Social Security benefits. You can find me online at collinsincometexsolutionsllc.com.
It all started with a simple family dream, some hard work, and the foundation of honest, loyal, and fair customer service. Now, Spartan Stoneworks is Tallahassee's premier granite, marble, and quartz specialist. Your kitchen is your family's gathering place. So let a company with strong family values bring your kitchen back to life. Stop wishing for your new kitchen and call Spartan Stoneworks today at 510-4249. That's 510-4249. Online at SpartanStoneworks.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Tomorrow we show up, play a good game on the road and get a win and start to right the ship. Maybe that's the positive way to look at this, Tom. Maybe tomorrow is the day that it comes together and we start to see signs that it's going to be okay. Maybe not this year, but it's going to be okay in the not too distant future because they rebound from a devastating loss, some say worst in program history, and go on the road a game in which you're an underdog and get a win. That would show mental toughness. That would show that you were resolute. That would show that you are truly bought in. That would show you were capable of bouncing back from a crippling loss because you're mentally and physically tough enough to do so. That would be a good sign. I'm not going to overstate what it would mean to beat Wake Forest. I am going to say it's a big deal, however, to beat Wake Forest when you're this low down.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame the players for a lack of mental toughness. I'm not going to rewrite the books on Jacksonville State and say it's because the players weren't mentally tough enough to play that game. I thought they were fine in terms of mental toughness. They were present. The game plan wasn't. The coaches weren't.
No.
When you're 4th and 3, up 17-7, and your best call is a fade in that situation, that's not on players not being mentally tough enough. That's a bad call. That tells me you're not prepared for the situation. So the problem is, did that loss rob the players of their will to be mentally tough? That's the question we have to ask this week, but they were committed all the way up to the end of the J-State game.
I'm going to go back to something I said yesterday on the show, and I'll say it again here. I do think that they are invested and they are mentally tough, and they will fight back. That was a sad, sorry state of affairs that occurred last week, a stunning turn of events, no doubt. But I do think that they are bought in. I do think that they have each other and work together and do believe, and I do think they'll fight. Now, again, there's a difference between that and actually going out and being good enough to win the game. They may not be good enough. Which is, certainly, so that's the hard part, right? Because if you just boil it down to this, Jacksonville State, for example, Florida State's good enough to win that game. They have better players. They're good enough to win the game. So that is solely on coaching. 100% on coaching.
Again, given that the players, there was no quitting going on the field.
Right.
We didn't see any
just
of that.
on coaching. And we know 100% they are good enough to beat Jacksonville State, and they didn't at home. So that's all on coaching. They may not be good enough. They may not be appreciably better than Wake Forest. They may not even be marginally better than Wake Forest. They might not be better than Wake Forest.
I know you can't say it the Friday after you lose to Jacksonville State. I think they are. I think just for this year, I'm not talking about relative program strength the last 3 or 4 seasons, because if you did that, you'd have to bend the knee to Wake.
You would, because continuity matters. Having a system in place that has been run for a number of years.
Aptitude of a staff.
And bought in.
Yeah,
it matters. You may not be good enough to go beat Wake Forest. We have to accept that is possibly the reality. Now, I think they are good enough, hence I picked them. Hence I took the points. And I also believe they will go win the game. But I'll know early on if that was a fool's errand. If I made the mistake of buying in when they didn't. So I'll know early, because that will be revealed probably within the first 2 or 3 drives, whether or not they are committed that day. Now, if they are, then buckle up, because now they got to prove they can win the game. Not that they don't, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be looking for two different things.
Yeah, you got to go make a few plays in order to turn the tide of a game, especially when it's as close as this should be.
Yes.
You know, but we're talking about this all week, and it's Noles by 21 or something nonsensical like that because this team is so inconsistent. But in truth, if it plays out the way we think it will, you're going to go have to make a play or two, because Wake Forest, if they were an NFL team, all you'd say is they're an 8-8 factory these days, 8-9, because they don't beat themselves. They're waiting for you to beat yourself, and then they're just going to take advantage of that opportunity. Wake doesn't do a whole lot of boneheaded things. They're just not good enough in certain circumstances. That's the only thing that holds them back.
It's been the same. Jim Grove, I mean, you go all the way back. Wake Forest has been a team, an interesting one for a long time, that has, punched above their weight class. And they get credit for it because that's a tiny school, and you wouldn't think that they have any business. No business. But they're in games. They fight. Hell, they've been in games where they hung around with Clemson. They absolutely have no business being in those games. It's because they're buttoned up and they know they can't afford to make the kinds of mistakes that we make on the regular.
Yeah, if you look at the quarterback, Sam Hartman, who played against Florida State in 2018, by the way. He threw 40-some-odd passes against us in 2018. He's only a sophomore, thanks COVID rules and a redshirt season.
Yep.
But he's only thrown 5 interceptions and 325 passes since the start of last year. And it's not like he was throwing double-digit picks in the seasons prior either. This dude is somebody who just protects the football, and that embodies what Wake Forest is all about.
If you look, I'm pulling it up right now. I know this is riveting radio. Here you go. Let's go find what they did. 114 years worth of football here, but they've gone to a bowl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row. And they won 8 games, non-COVID year. They won 8 games. Year before that, 7 games. They won 8 games the year before that, 7 games the year before that. Whole lot of 8-win, 7-win, 8-win seasons. That's really rather remarkable if you consider that they're Wake Forest.
On the heels of, and you'll recall this because it made you laugh, an interview with David Hale in which Dave Clawson says we suck, essentially.
Well, it was one of my favorite interviews. Dave Clawson's first couple of years, they couldn't win anything. They went 3-9. And the second year was when he gave that interview after his second season. They had the worst rated offensive line in the country. That was shocking since we're playing football. And he said he tried to navigate the question by saying, Coach, obviously it's tough to call plays when your offensive line is, you've had some struggles up front. And he interrupted him and basically said, struggles? We're the worst in the country. We have the worst rated offensive line in the country. It's impossible to do much of anything when you have the worst offensive line in the country. And I loved him for it right then and there. Right. I went, oh.
An honest take followed by maximizing what that program could be shortly thereafter.
So since that 3-9 season, of which he had back-to-back, Dave Clawson has gone 7 wins, 8 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins. Last year, COVID year, 4-5. But that's 7-8, 7-8. After 3-9.
The good news is, on the other side, though, if there is a game in this conference outside of Syracuse where I think you could win both sides in terms of the trenches, this might be the one. Wake is having a down year in the trenches for their standards. So that's why I think you could pounce on them, but you got to care to.
Come back and see if I can expand my lead over Mama, who I trounced last week in the picks. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A standoff in Grady County came to an end just before 10:30 last night after a Pelham man escaped from custody in Monroe County while he was hospitalized. GCSO said it received a tip that Skeeter Eugene Weeks of Pelham was at a home on McClellan Road in Grady County. Deputies and other law enforcement had the house rounded and made entry into the home, letting a canine in. Weeks surrendered and was taken into custody. Weeks was originally hospitalized after receiving minor injuries when he led police on a chase on a motorcycle and crashed. He ran a short way on foot and was tased. Deputies found almost 2 pounds of meth on him as well as a firearm. Weeks is suspected of having affiliations with the Ghostface Gangsters. A Florida Department of Health rule that took effect Thursday imposes $5,000 fines on businesses, governments, and educational institutions that require proof of a vaccine to enter the premises. There's also concern about a looming federal rule that could do just the opposite. Any business that is fined will have the right to do an administrative appeal. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Mac & More Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macandmoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 86. Southerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms likely tonight. Lows level off around 72. Cloudy skies expected. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow. Highs around 84. Overcast skies. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 84.
Where is the best place to find Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, Goodyear, and Bridgestone tires? Nice Tire and Auto Service. Where's the best full-service auto center? Nice Tire and Auto Service. They do everything from computerized alignments to brakes, tune-ups, and safety inspections. Where can you get complete auto service you can trust? That's easy. Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
We all want.
Northside and the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
The program. Tom and I are going to have a beer at show ends. That was the promise earlier in the week, right?
I keep my promises.
Okay. You looked like you wanted to back out there for a moment.
No. I do have to be home at a reasonable.
I wasn't saying we're going to get drunken and debauchery and fall around the place.
When you say Tom and I are going to have a beer and there's AC/DC on in the background, I'm thinking, well, could be a good Friday.
I'm not. I don't have that much gusto in me right now with this cold.
Today is my 6-month wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary, buddy. 6 months. There you go.
Like the golf, make a putt for par.
There you go.
Thanks, everybody.
It flew past, didn't it?
It did.
Oh, yeah. No, that's how you know. It's crazy. I've been married 15 years. That's not to anything like that. But every now and then when I think about that, I go, oh, the good news is it doesn't feel like it's been 15 years.
Right,
So, yeah.
And every time I have my 6-month marker, so 18 months next year, that means we got 6 months till St. Patrick's Day. So there's that as well.
There you go. You got that as well. And you got the green band on to remind.
I do.
I like it. All right. So I trounced Mom last week. I got off to a great start. Just a woeful effort on her part, or a supremely great effort on mine, however you want to look at it. And we both had Washington last night. Neither one of us really deserved to win that game. I feel like the Giants choked that game away in a lot of different instances. But hey, so be it. We'll both take the win. If you would, cue it up, and we'll bring Mom in here and get these picks going.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Jody, you're wrong! Mana, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
All right, Mama. How are you? You doing okay?
I'm doing fine. I'm sorry you've got a cold.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I'm just glad it's a cold.
I know. Well, isn't that the truth?
Yeah. The second I felt that tickle on my throat, my nose got stuffed up. It was earlier in the week. I went, uh-oh, because we all do that. And I went and checked and went to the clinic, and they were like, nope, you just got a cold, buddy.
I know. Who knew the days of this? You start to get a sore throat, you think, oh, my God, it's COVID.
Yep, immediately is what I thought. But I had no breakthrough case here, just a cold. All right, Mom, so you got to buckle in here. You got to get focused.
I know. Well, listen, now you can't give me too hard a time. I lost one game in overtime and one game by 1 point.
Yeah, it's a tough, you got to be on the right side.
I know. The only one game did I actually really lose. I mean,
which was the one you got buried in? Which one was that?
I didn't get buried, but the Miami game. I believe it was the Miami game. Didn't you have? Let me look here and see. Now because I have my sheet. I have to keep these. Yeah, you had Miami and I had New England.
That was a 1-point final. So that was a close shave. It was Washington.
Oh, it was? That was a 1-point game? Okay, well then wait a second. Now the Chargers in Washington.
Yeah, that was still a close game.
I don't think that was Was it that game? And then Cincinnati, Minnesota. Maybe that was the game.
Yeah, Minnesota made it. Shouldn't have made it that close. I mean, that was a weird game. That whole situation was bizarre. Yeah,
I think I lost in overtime in
twice.
The Washington game, right? And
no, it wasn't overtime in the Washington. No, Mom, 20-16. You didn't lose in overtime against the Chargers, but you did lose in overtime, Cincinnati and Minnesota, and you did lose by 1 point in the Miami-New England game.
There you go. Well, I knew that was something like that. I just couldn't remember which game I actually legitimately lost.
All right, here you go. You're down 3. We're getting started. Right off the bat, I think this is a tough game. I love this game. Cincinnati at Chicago.
Oh, yeah, I know you do. I took Cincinnati.
Me too. I think they'll go in there and win. I think Chicago's offensive line may be the worst in football. Houston at Cleveland.
I'm taking Cleveland.
Yeah, that's an easy one. The Rams at the Colts.
Yeah, now I think that's a hard game, but I'm happy that Matthew Stafford is doing good, and I like him, and I took the Rams.
Me too. Buffalo at Miami.
Now, I think that's a hard game, actually. I really do. And it's at Miami, which makes me a little more concerned because it's hot as hell there, and I don't think Buffalo can hold up. But having said that, I think that they're supposed to be so good this year, and they lost, so I'm picking Buffalo.
So you're going to take the desperate angle, and I get it. I think that's a good angle to take, and Ryan's play. I mean, yes, that's correct. No, they've played well, I should say, against Miami, but I will take the Dolphins. I'm riding this Dolphins team. I like it. Mm-hmm. I like that defense. I do. Yeah. New England's at the Jets. We're both going to take New England.
Yes, we are.
San Francisco at the very surprising last week Philadelphia Eagles, who really dominated.
I know that. That concerns me as well, but I took San Francisco.
I took San Francisco as well. The Raiders on the road at the Steelers.
No, I'm taking the Steelers.
Yep. The Saints and Jameis Winston on the road at Carolina after they get done trouncing the Green Bay Packers.
That was a shocking game. I'm going to wait and see what happens this week with Green Bay, but I'm taking New Orleans and Jameis.
Yeah. I'm going to take New Orleans too. Denver at Jacksonville. We'll both take Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota at Arizona.
Yeah. Now, how about that Arizona team? I forget who they beat, but I was surprised.
Titans. They pounded the Titans.
That's right. And I thought Tennessee would do well. I'm taking Arizona.
I think I am too. I'm going to take Arizona as well. Falcons come to Raymond James Stadium and take on the world champion Buccaneers.
That's right. And I'm taking my world champion Buccaneers.
You're damn right. Champs roll on.
Damn Skippy.
Yep. Dallas at the Chargers.
Yeah. Dak looked really good.
He did.
Last week. I'm going to take Dallas.
You're going to get beat like a drum. Give me the Chargers. Okay. There we go. There's a whooping to be had. Tennessee's at Seattle.
No, I'm taking Seattle.
Yep, and Kansas City's at Baltimore. Good game.
No, I'm going to take Kansas City. I don't know. That Baltimore game was kind of shocking.
Yeah, I'll take Kansas City as well. And Baltimore falls to 0-2. Detroit's at Green Bay.
And this game, I'm going to take Green Bay. If they lose this week, then I'm going to.
You're off of them. That's it. You're done with Green Bay if they lose this week, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that's it for Aaron. I love him dearly, but if he can't beat Detroit, then I'm not going to pick him again.
He was an unfocused, distracted prima donna in the offseason. He deserved that ass beating he took last week. I love you, Mama.
I love you too, sweetie. I hope you feel better, and good luck this week against Wake Forest.
Yeah, well, we need it. We need all the luck we can get.
I know. All right, I love you. Have a good week.
All right, love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there's that. We have two different.
I
took Miami, kind of just playing this hunch of mine. I really like this Miami team. I don't.
You could see Tua having a bad day and everybody going, oh, well,
yeah,
not ready for prime time.
Well, and I'm not in love with Tua. I'm not. He got outplayed by Mac Jones, and that's Mac's first ever football game in the NFL, and he looked like a better player. But that said, I do love Flores, and I like this defense, and I do think Miami's better. And I'm not saying Tua can't play. The jury's still out on Tua, is all I'm saying.
Maybe some ups and downs.
Yeah.
Strikes and gutters.
It's not happening as fast for him as it has for some other guys. Are you a believer in Miami the way I am? No?
I think that division is way more interesting than most people in the offseason said. It's Buffalo's, and then we'll see if one of the other two teams can pick up a wild card. Yeah. I think it's open. I think it's ripe for business.
I think it's ripe for business too. And it's crazy to look at the numbers of offense points for in that division through 1 week. 17 leads the way.
But I don't think it's because Buffalo's bad. I think it's because the other two teams are good.
No, I think New England is probably legitimately a decent team.
Right. It's not about, the paper tigers thing. It's just that's a tough division. Out of nowhere, it was a joke for 20 years, and now it's compelling.
I think it's a division where you're going to see some teams play some damn defense, and they'll hit you. So think about Miami, New England, and Buffalo all have good defenses. This is going to be fun. Now the poor Jets are just the Jets, but that's going to be.
And then watch them intermingle in the AFC with the Baltimores and Kansas Cities of the world. I mean, even what the Vegas Raiders did on Monday night. You've got a lot of interesting teams in the AFC. In the NFC, the picture is a little bit clearer about who the favorites are and who the contenders are.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I also don't believe in the Raiders. That was lucky. I'll take it. I'm glad that they won, but that's not a good.
No, but I'm not talking about a division winner or anything like that. I'm just talking about week to week teams that can beat you. Like, there are classifications right now. Minnesota, I wouldn't pick them. That your mom took an extra second. I thought I'd stay off the Vikings right now. I'd stay off the Bears right now.
Oh, buddy, watching that offensive line. Oh no.
Somebody has to win that division. Somebody has to. That's the rules.
Green Bay will win the division.
Yeah, and they'll go, 10-7 or something, and they'll get it together towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
But there are some teams that you stay off of completely, and some teams you don't want to play. Like Vegas, oddly enough, every once in a while can rise up and scare you.
If the Bills lose this game and go to 0-2, and I talked about the distractions of the offseason, you want to talk about hitting the panic button. The expectations for that team coming into this season, oof. Jeff Cameron, Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5. Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
It's pool season, and the huge pool at Killearn Country Club is ready for you. Pool memberships are just $5.99 for the season through September, and come with poolside service and unlimited access to the 19th hole. Live the country club life without the country club price. And don't miss the weekly themed Thursday night dinners featuring exquisitely prepared meals paired with the best wines. Stay up to date with all the events and club deals at KillearnCC.com. That's KillearnCC.com.
Choose Hearth & Patio for custom fireplaces, maintenance, outdoor grills, kitchens, fire pits, lighting, and so much more. Check out all of Hearth & Patio's options online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth & Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
No, the song.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the song does, yeah.
Ain't no Schadenfreude here, man.
Yeah, no, I the song always does. I love it. And I'm ready to have a weekend where we don't have a pregame show. We don't have anything. Not that I don't like my job. I love my job. But
Yeah.
we get to just chill and watch the game.
That's what you do. I will chill. Tomorrow
You
morning
just
is
chill,
mine.
watch the
Tomorrow
games as
morning
well,
is
yeah.
mine. But yeah,
You have a post-game show you got to do.
that's right. I'll see you for the pregame show in Tucson. No, I won't.
No,
I'll
you
be
won't.
at the Ryder
You'll
Cup.
be at the Ryder Cup,
That's
right?
unfortunate. That's just terrible.
Watching us take down the Europeans. The course is ready-made for
I hope so. Well, it is. And if you look at Vegas thinks very strongly about the Americans this time around.
Well, I
We'll
mean, again,
see.
the course is set up for it. Just like the Europeans did us, set up a course that really required us to do something we're not good at. We have done the same here. So,
Boy, Phil did what he was good at the time.
make excuses
Oh, always.
and complain.
Forevermore at the Ryder Cup. Always.
Yeah.
Just like ragging Tom Watson while they're sitting at the press conference. together.
Well, listen, I'm less inclined to worry about that. As that one didn't bother me as much.
What did you make of Zinger's comment about Brooksy?
That's a guy who really loves the Ryder Cup, and he doesn't understand that maybe some of the younger players don't feel about it the same way that older players do. I don't listen. I'm not going to open that can of worms. There's a lot of things I think about Zing, but I'm not going to.
There you go.
I'll just
He admitted to cheating in the Ryder Cup, so there's that.
little gamesmanship back then.
Oh,
a little gamesmanship.
all right, yeah.
Little gamesmanship.
That broke a rule.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, we got away with it. All right."
That's
yeah.
how much he
Good for
cared,
us.
Tom. That's how much he
Oh,
cared.
yeah.
He'd have you know. That's how much he cared.
He and Matt Harvey understand the value of a mirror.
That's true. Probables brought to you by North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probably?
Rockies, Nats, Herman Marquez, Josiah Gray, and then Josiah. Indians, Yankees, Zach Plezak, Corey Kluber. Twins, Blue Jays, Michael Pineda, and Hyun-Jin Ryu. Orioles, Red Sox, Keegan Aiken. Oh, my Aiken ass. Keegan Aiken and TBD. That was me after the Jacksonville State game. Oh, my Aiken ass. Dodgers, Reds, Walker Buehler.
Trapper, keeper.
Luis Castillo. Tigers, Rays, Casey Mize, Luis Patino. Good friend of mine and his family were at the Mets game, Phillies game, I should say, yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Up
Pretty
at Citizens Bank?
Yeah. Phillies, Mets, Zach Wheeler, DeJuan Walker.
Did I hear a Patino in there a moment ago?
Luis Patino.
Oh, that's right. Louis Patino.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. 9-11.
A lot of curveballs.
Pirates, Marlins, Will Crow. He of the 3-7, 5-9-7 Crow family. Jeez Louise. Everybody, we roll the hell out. Elcier Hernandez goes for the Marlins. We got the White Sox and the Rangers, Dylan Cease and Taylor Hearn. D-backs, Astros, Madison Bumgarner, Brandon Bielak. Mariners, Royals, Chris Flexen. Against the kid making his first career start in the majors, John Heasley. Congratulations to the Heasley family, Tom.
All right. Big day for the Heasleys.
Big day. I always knew that Heasley would make it. Cubs, Brewers, Zach Davies, and Adrian Hauser. Padres Cardinals, Vince Velasquez and Miles Mikolas.
Yes.
A's Angels, Cole Irvin and TBD. Cole Irvin, I think, likes to shoot stuff. Braves, Giants. Just feels like Cole Irvin does. I'm looking at his pictures. But yeah. Braves, Giants, Ian Anderson, and Logan Webb. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Most interesting game of the weekend, not named Florida State against Wake, is it for you, Auburn, Penn State? I don't think so. I think Penn State's going to roll. I think Penn State's going to roll.
Feeling good about them Nittany Lions.
I do.
They're on the card?
Yeah. Actually, I took the under in that game, but if I had to take the points, I'd give the points. I think it's under 7 now, so I would do that, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You said that with a lot of confidence.
I don't believe in Bo Nix, ever. So. There it is. We got the picture.
I can feel it all the way down to my plums.
UCF Louisville tonight, huh? Is that right? That's tonight?
Yeah, the Knights are a 6.5-point favorite.
I'm not touching that game on the card.
Yeah.
Not touching that game
There
on the card.
2 Satterfields, and I don't know which one we're going to get. Plus, Gus and Satterfield are kind of like long-lost brothers. Look at them.
I don't believe in Gus either, so there you go.
Look at those two.
Watch those guys. Yeah, I'll watch the game tonight, though.
Oh, yeah.
Good to have college football on. I watched a little of the Ohio game last night. I was flipping back and forth.
You've seen quite a bit of Ohio now.
I have.
I know you're keeping tabs on the Syracuse game.
Yeah, keeping tabs. Syracuse rose up, stomped Ohio. Disappointed me at that time. I didn't think that was going to happen. So back and forth.
Somebody in the chat said earlier in the week that Ohio gave Duquesne a run for their money. So be careful what you wish for next season.
Oh, stop. I'll be honest with you. If you go look at the roster size at Duquesne and the non-scholarships and all that, and no, if we lose to Duquesne, I'm shutting it down.
You're retiring.
I'm shutting it down.
You go to the college sports book full time.
I'll go college sports book full time. I'll leave this alone. I can't do it. Can't lose to Duquesne. At that point, you're starting to lose to people who play high school football.
It is at that point I will, with great honor, tell people about T-Spark Enterprises and all the things they do for my roofing service. Right? I mean, that'll be a great honor. I'll say, guess what? I get the biannual service. They look at the roof. They tell me any leaks, any problems like that. I trust them.
If you're suffering from storm damage, T-Spark knows how to work with the insurance companies, Tom.
Oh, damn it. You still have that right.
And help navigate the insurance process to help put your home back to its pre-claim condition.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter. Wind damage, missing shingles. Damn it. We've got missing shingles. Call T-Spark to inspect your roof. That's how that works.
Still your throne. We haven't lost to Duquesne yet.
We're not going to lose to Duquesne, ever. We should have never scheduled that game. It's upsetting. But anyhow, we did. And at this point, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we should only schedule teams like Duquesne. 12 of them. We'll do the
play a best of 5 with Syracuse.
We'll do the Bill Schneider thing from back in the day when he took over that dreadful Kansas State program and just decided, you know what? I'm scheduling 10 automatic wins if I can. Every game on here, we're 50-point favorites, and then we'll have a couple that we have to play where, we can't avoid it. But all right. It was something to behold.
Well, Bill, what happens if you play a real opponent? We'll never know. All I know is that we're undefeated. That's all I know.
He turned that thing around.
Let me tell you about what I know.
He turned that thing around. I would tell you that, oddly, I kind of do want to see, well, I don't kind of, I am interested to see what Bryce Young does on the road against Florida. That is as hostile an environment as there is, and they will go crazy for that game. If I were Florida, I would have fought hard to get that scheduled at night. But nonetheless, it's not. And I just, for the sake of kind of figuring out whether or not anybody can beat Alabama, I would have rather have seen Anthony Richardson be at full strength, because he is it really is upsetting to see that they have a guy waiting in the wings that is going to be as good as he is at quarterback.
I have yet to watch him.
Oh, man.
And I hear it makes all the difference.
Well, first of all, their offense changes. And secondly, when you look at him, you're like, well, that's Cam Newton. I mean, he's huge.
So the number in that game right now is around 14 and change, 15, 14, whatever. And the total was at 54 as of this morning.
Was it really?
So Vegas is telling you.
That flies over.
Yeah, so Vegas is telling you they think 34-20. Well, there's weather. There's a concern. There's been a lot of rain in Gainesville. It might be raining again tomorrow.
34-20 is what they're telling you. Yep.
Mullen, okay, so when you said it flies over that number.
If we don't have a torrential downpour, sure, I think it flies over the number. First of all, Alabama's going for their 30-some-odd consecutive game in a row of scoring 30 points or more. I'm going to guess that they do that again.
Right. And Vegas says they will. but you're picking Mullen to be able to produce over 20 points easily.
Yeah, Mullen will scheme up enough big plays that they'll get an opportunity to. I could see 37-17, something like that. I mean, Florida could get smoked here. I mean, it is Alabama.
It depends on the quarterback who's starting as well.
Yeah. If Emory Jones starts, Florida's going to get smoked, period. That's going to happen.
I was talking to Gene this morning, and he said, the one thing about, a sloppy track in Gainesville with all the rain this week is if you got a guy with a hammy, you really want to put him on, mud. I mean, if Alabama goes up early, do you really want to roll him out there, or do you want to make sure that you save him so that you can play him a hell of a lot more for the next 9 games?
Well, hamstrings are problematic. I mean, we always talk about that. If you got a team who gets hurt, if you got a problem at hamstring, it's really troublesome, period. If it's a receiver, running back, any skill position player, that is, especially if that's a big part of what they do, which at running back and receiver it would be. But in this case, quarterback, it is. Yes, you may well just take your L and move it along and try to win the East and get a rematch or something along those lines. Although doing that would be difficult because you still got Georgia.
So your pal Tom, who does not like you because you hate the Bills with all your soul, and you've been saying so for years, says he's got $20 worth of groceries for a needy family in the area if the Bills squash the Finns. You want to take them on?
Oh, Tom, we'll do it. We'll have fun. I mean, it's for charity. Sure, I'll do it. Am I getting my 3.5 here? Am I getting my 3.5?
He says,
listen,
the Bills squash the fish. So I think the Bills need to win by 6 or more.
Well, I'll just take my 3.5 points and we'll have a little fun with it, and I'll gladly give if I lose. I mean, I'm taking a risk here. I'm taking a risk. I'm taking the risk that Miami is mature enough to handle this game and to buck up and win another big game. Imagine them starting the year 2-0 in that division. That's huge because you beat New England on the road to start, and then now you get this.
You only play 6 of those, so you got that's a big time head start.
That's a really big deal, and you have tiebreakers in some cases, so that's a big deal. I think it's sad that at noon tomorrow, the game in Norman at Memorial Stadium, Tom,
of course,
would be an afterthought to most. I'm old enough. Here you go. I'm old enough to remember when Nebraska-Oklahoma was a big damn deal. And I will remember with great fondness, and I'll post this picture. I've got 2 pictures I'll maybe post that makes me smile. My deceased grandfather and my great-grandmother. And the parties that they would have for Oklahoma games, one of my favorite memories, going over to their house on a Saturday and watching Oklahoma football with them and seeing the hats that they would wear. And it was a non-ending party. This went late into the evening.
Oh, really?
Oh,
that's where you got it from, huh?
They got after it. But the Oklahoma, Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, this was a big damn to-do. It just makes me sad that that's where Nebraska's at. It's like, if you're one of those people who, let's say you're not invested in Florida State, Florida, but you grew up in the state. Maybe you graduated from UCF and you just grew up and you really enjoyed watching that rivalry. Nowadays, it's like, all right, so Florida's favored by 28 over Florida State. You'd be like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last hotly contested game. Was that 14 when we had Terrence Smith return
take it to the house
on the bum leg?
Yeah, it might be. Yes, you guys are right. Dalvin handled it well. He's probably handled it better, meaning the hamstring injury, than anybody in the history of football. I have never seen anything like it. Tom and I sat there in amazement. Talk about having an understanding of your body and when to shut it down and when not. I mean, it was nuts.
Before we say goodbye to the YouTubers and hit the Friday song, what's the race to tomorrow?
30.
30. Okay. I think it's lower, but I can see you working there.
30, 27, 31, 24, 30. Yeah, somewhere in there. 30. Yeah. Oh, don't make me nervous.
Bye, YouTubers.
Talk about this. Bye, YouTubers. Be good, man.